Namaskar. Good morning. Welcome to another session of Breathe with Me. In these sessions, I provide information and guidance on how to breathe properly and what breathing actually is. I'm coming to you from Varkala Beach in Kerala. I'm your host and guide, Anil Agarwal. So, what is breathing? Breathing is inhaling air, and when we inhale air, 21% of it is oxygen, 78% nitrogen, 0.04% is CO2 carbon dioxide, and the other 0.06% are other gases and water vapors. Of all of these, oxygen and CO2 play the most important role in the functioning of the body. Of the 21% of the oxygen contained in the air we inhale, only 7% is absorbed by the body. Rest of it all dissipates. And the little bit of CO2 plays an extremely important role. It mixes up with the dirty gases in the body and expels them out. So it is in and out process. In and out process. First the raw is in, good is extracted, and the bad is expelled out. Now today, instead of going into too much more detail, I'll go right to the breathing exercises. We start with Chalan Kriyas, or loosening exercises, so our body can work more efficiently in absorbing the oxygen and the breathing process. Chalan Kriyas were devised in the tradition of yoga. We start with the head movements. Again, and throughout the process, breathing is extremely important. After all, this whole session is about breathing, learning to breathe properly. So, inhale deep and try to visualize the air traveling through your nostrils, through the esophagus, all the way to the belly. Alright, now to the Chalan Kriyas. First we breathe in, tilt our head back, and then slowly come forward, exhaling. We'll repeat this same process in several other positions. Again, let's inhale in, and in the correct breathing, we're supposed to exhale for twice as long as we inhale, and pause for a moment or two in between to give the bad gases a chance to attach to CO2 to expel them. Again, next we do left and right. Normal position, inhale, exhale, back to normal, inhale, exhale. Now we look to our shoulders. Same process. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Now the 360 rotation. I'll inhale, then exhale. Inhale, exhale, coming down. We should try to do a minimum of 5 and to 10, 15 or 20 reps depending on your capacity. Now shoulder rotation. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. All right. Now stretch your arms out, palms up, put them on your shoulders, elbows out, touch elbows, and will rotate upward. Try to touch your ears. Other way around. These are 5. Shake your body loose. Now we'll do trunk twisting. Trunk twisting. Put your hands on your waist like this. Again, like this. Hold it. Keep your spine straight. Breathe in and turn left. Back to the middle. Now right. Breathe in. Breathe in. Exhale. 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 All right. Now I've added on a few versions which I find useful. First, you build momentum. Momentum. Now breathe in and throw your hands back. Now please note, this is also similar to Bhastrika exercise from pranayama, and I'll come back to you with that in a few more minutes. What Bhastrika is, it cleans the sinuses, it tries to expel the mucus from our sinuses. All right. Now next one is stretch your arms to the right, keep the hands straight, build a little bit of momentum, and flap your hands like a bird's wings. Now listen to the breathing. I'm trying to do forceful breathing to expel the pollutants and the bad stuff out of the system. All right, we'll shake loose. Next one. Stretch your hands out, breathe in, and touch the shoulders. All right. Breathe in, exhale, inhale, exhale. Breathe in, exhale. Breathe in, exhale. All right. Just hanging loose and let the momentum move our arms. Feels good. Feels good. Every which way. Nothing wrong in moving any way you feel like. All right. Now the next one. All right. Now, next is set a few exercises I learned from Dr. Oz. Very similar, but with a bit of a Western twist. Western twist. We'll move hands in 4 different postures. Again, the focus is on moving the breath, inhaling and exhaling. Fingers open, hands in the front, will move up and down. This is 10. I normally do 30, but for the purpose of the demonstration, I'm doing just 10 to keep this video contained. Next, again, fingers stay open. All right. Now we'll do up and down. Now we'll clap front and back. Just in case I missed a posture, I'll try to repeat. Therefore, hand palms facing up and down. All right. Then we go both hands sideways. Right. Then palm facing downwards, up and down, and then hand folding the front, clapping the front, and clapping the back. This is the end of Chalan Kriyas. Now we're not moved our legs much in this one, so try to move your legs as well. It may be a little bit difficult, might get a little stiff for the balance. What we do is we lie down and do some exercises in that posture. Let me see if I can demonstrate that. Okay. Then lie down, hold your knees, then straight. So the whole routine is it starts with the toes. I think I need to move back a little bit. All right. Okay. And then I try to make circles with my feet. Okay. And then same thing with the left foot. And then, all right. Then we stretch our thighs and knees and the calves. Do you know that the calves are also called the second heart? Second heart. Why? The movement there is as important or nearly as important as the heart. So it is good to keep them pliant. Now the left one, same thing. Slowly hold it. All right. I try to do another one. I try to do the hip rotation. It gives the exercises to the whole leg all the way up to the hips, from toe to the hips, toe to the hips. Notice the calf moving, the feet moving, the toes moving, the knee moving, and right to the tailbone, the hip is moving. Okay, same here. And we can do in the rotation fashion too. All right. Okay. Now this is called Pavan Muktasana. It releases, it forces the air from the belly. Okay. All right. So this is enough for this part. Now let's get into the pranayama. To do pranayama exercises, it's extremely important to sit in the proper posture. Let me try to lower this camera. All right, now you can see me. So, in yoga, in pranayama, there are two poses for sitting. We have to sit cross-legged. Now, a lot of people are not used to sitting cross-legged. In India, we grew up with it. As a result, our legs are a little more flexible in those areas. But this is how we do it. See, legs are straight. Lift your left leg and put it under your left thigh, the right leg, and left leg under the right knee. This is easy to do, and therefore it is also called the easy pose or Sukhasana. Sukhasana. In this one, you have to make an effort to keep your spine straight. In the other pose, which is a little more difficult, called Padmasana, but it's easier to keep the spine straight, and this is the one prescribed by the yogis. What we do in that one is lift your right leg, put that on your left thigh, lift your left leg and put it on top. You're creating a lock. You'll notice if you're doing this, it helps to keep the spine straight. It is very important. As per the yoga and the Ayurveda theory, in our body, we have 7 energy points from head to toe. They're called chakras. Chakras. We start from the crown. This is the crown chakra on top of the head. A chakra right here, chakra on the throat, chakra on the heart, chakra on the belly, and all the way to where we take the body waste out, the anus. That's called Mooladhara chakra. Important thing to remember is the role of the chakra is we keep the spine straight and we breathe, visualize the air is supposed to go through all the chakras, all the chakras. Now, in Panchakarma, in Pranayama, what is Pranayama? It's a combination of two words, Prana, Pranayam. Again, this is a session about learning to breathe. We take breathing for granted as if nothing can be done about it. That's the way it is. But that is not true. Pran, the little tiny bit of oxygen that we extract from the air, is that breath is also called pran in Sanskrit. That's the pran. When we take our first breath, life begins. And when we take our last breath, the breath goes out and becomes air. That's when the life ends. So, pran is breath and ayam means control or management of that breath. We can control and manage how to move it. And rishis, the Ayurveda researchers and the yogis, thousands of years ago, they figured it out, various ways in which breathing can help in maintaining health and correcting some problems. The first one is called Kapalbhati. Now, before I get into the exercises, I'll tell you why these exercises were devised. Our body produces almost 2 quarts of mucus every day. Mucus is the sticky substance when we are cold, and the bulgum or phlegm is called the sticky stuff. When the body produces excess or doesn't manage properly, we get cough and respiratory issues and we throw it out. The mucus, the 2 parts of it extremely important in the body. That's the lubricating oil for the body. It lubricates the insides of our arteries, the lining, the bone structures, and everything. Extremely important. Otherwise, things will get brittle and dry and we won't function too well. It's essential. But what happens when body produces extra mucus? We get cough and cold, other respiratory issues. Some of that gets stuck in the inside of bronchioles, in the bronchi tree, and the airways and the pathways. And do you know, when we inhale air, after it turns into oxygen, it travels almost 1500 miles through our body, through every nook and cranny of our body. It needs to travel efficiently to be effective. If the airways are not clean, if the pathways are not clean, the traffic doesn't flow smoothly and causes problem. That's when we get diseases. In the modern times, we don't understand this phenomena too well, if at all. If we get sick with some respiratory issue, we run to the doctors. They'll provide some medications, in extreme cases, bronchodilators or something to sniff on, albuterol, and things like that. They hardly explain that some of these issues, unless they are very severe, can be corrected through correcting our breathing. So what Kapalbhati does, it forces air for bottom up and it loosens that mucus that we can expel out. It is also called huff breathing. Another thing to remember to note about pranayama, when we inhale a lot of air as much as we can, we need to lock it for each particular exercise in a certain space. So we don't waste that air, we can use it like a compressor to force it out. In Kapalbhati's case, in huff breathing, we hold it here. Let me try to demonstrate. We're supposed to do it forcefully. Forcefully. I have a bit of a cold for the past 2 months, which is not completely gone, so I don't want to try too hard. And also, I'm 72 years old. Younger people can do a better job. But again, inhale air, breathe in your, hold it in your belly, and see, I can already feel some mucus moving into my throat. And if you try, you'll feel it. Excuse me, but I had to throw it out. May seem gross, but that's the body's function. Next one is Bhastrika. Bhastrika is the opposite of huff. From bottom up, in this one we're doing top down. This will clean the sinuses. Another effective way of doing Bhastrika is like this. Hold your hands up, palm a fist, and bring them down with force. Man, I can really feel it coming out. Third one is called Anulom Vilom, or alternate nostril breathing. The yogis, they're very precise about everything. The way we hold our hand, there must be hundreds of ways they thought about it, right? But for this one, the way of how you hold your hand. You put your forefinger and middle finger right in the middle of your eyebrows. With your left thumb, you try to close your left nostril or put it there for now. And these two, index finger, ring finger, goes on the right, right? Now, lift your left thumb and breathe in with force. Close it. Now, while the fingers are open, breathe in from the other one. It is advised to do it at least 9 times. 9 times. These are three. And another is Nabho Brahmari, that I don't do it quite as often. In Brahmari, we inhale and try to exhale really without taking the air out. It's just like we force it as of hitting the throat inside with the air we're holding. It has the effect I simultaneously trying to clean both the sinuses and the bronchioles. So these are the 4 pranayama exercises. I'll briefly introduce another one called box breathing, which supposedly was developed in the US Navy to train Navy SEALs. The way it is described as a box is it goes from, like, visualize a square from top left to right, then top down, then right to left, and then from bottom up. And again, we inhale, hold for 5 seconds, then exhale and repeat it. Inhale, When you do it a few times, you'll get the rhythm of it. It increases the lung capacity, expands your lungs. Now, this is for the breathing exercises. Now, I would like to move on to the meditation, and it is a both combination of both breathing and meditation. It's called Om breathing, Om breathing. You may have heard of it. Om is a Sanskrit word, and it is describing the sound Om, which is considered the Adi. Adi means the original, the beginning, the first sound of the universe. May think of it when Big Bang occurred, the universe was created. That's the first sound that was made. There is an exhaustive theory about the universe, but that needs to be for another theoretical session. However, Om is Sanskrit word, but the process translates very well into English with three letters A, U, and M. Each three letters, when we speak, they move the air in a different direction. When we say A, actually it's not A, it's A, A. When we say A, it moves, air is not moving, it stays just behind the lips from the left to right. Okay? A, A. And that should be the only 5% of the cycle. Shh. Quiet, please. Right. The middle sound, U, to make the sound, form your lips in the circle of O. And breathe out as if you're blowing a candle, like ooh. And the last one, ma, that's 20%. In that, we're bending the air back. So it starts with air is not coming out, oo is going out, and ma is coming back. Supposed to be 5, 75, 20 or 80-20 rule. But that rule can be changed depending on our need. When we're not feeling too well and mucus is stuck in our bronchi tree, we can increase the portion of ma, ma, so we can create more vibration in the bronchi tree to move the mucus. And how we do that? A, U, ma. It is advisable to do it for about half an hour. The very precise calculation is 108 XOR 108 cycles, and that is called Om Jap. It is also suggested to do 51 for people who cannot do it for so long. What I do is I set my iPhone next to my right side and set the timer to 5 minutes. And when the buzzer goes off, I tap it again, and I do that 4 times to do it for 20 minutes. And I don't even notice it. Remember, it's meditation. Meditation means mindfulness. Mindfulness. What is mindfulness? Mindfulness is being in the moment, just living in the moment and be aware what you are doing in that moment and totally focused on the moment and not paying attention or rather be oblivious of anything else happening beyond where you are focused. That's where mindfulness is. So I'll do it a few more times. When you do it for a few days, it will become easy. So much so, you will begin to enjoy it so much, you would want to do it all the time. And in time, you will notice that you will feel a sense of calm and peace. You will notice a change in your blood pressure and your pulse count. Over a period of time, your blood pressure will begin to normalize, and it will reduce your dependency on BP medications too. I'm not a doctor, I'm telling from my own personal experience. And all these breathing exercises that we talked about a little while earlier in pranayama, they help with all kinds of respiratory issues. If we start doing them early in life, they can be preventative, so we'll not contract those illnesses. If we do it later, when we do have them, and they're mild cases, they're curative, they can help fix many of those problems. Some very chronic issues like chronic cough, COPD, tightness in the chest, asthma, chronic bronchitis, it can help in all of those instances. And when we're not feeling well, even a little bit of help, anything that can help even a little bit is helpful, and we should try it. And the beauty of all this stuff is harmless. Even if you don't feel significant benefit, it is not doing any harm, and at least you're feeling calm and peace. It reduces anxiety, stress, and depression. Now, I'm coming to the end of this session, and we end it with releasing our hands, holding it, rubbing them vigorously to warm them and put in our eyes. Again, once more. Now, we do it 3 times for a reason. And again, in yoga and Ayurveda concepts, 3 is a very important number. It signifies the entire universe, the up, the middle, and below, the sky, the earth, and the below the earth. Teen lok, it is called in Sanskrit in Vedas, teen lok. Top, Brahman, bottom, earth lok, and patal lok. 3 is also associated with life. There is birth, there is life, and there is death when life is gone. Important to remember, we're here for a short period of time, even if it is 100 years, in the larger scheme of things, that's a very, very short time. We come, we exist, and we go. So in the end, we say, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. This is called Shanti Part, which is the prayer for all 3 entities, for the entire universe, for up, for down, and below. Peace with the beginning of life, peace during life, and peace when we are gone. So, with that, I bid you peace, and I'll see you again.